ジョージョーの野郎。鬼姫が完全にぶっ潰しやがって。
Oh my god. Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consume Cinema. I'm your host, Extreme Ways, and today we have Ashita no Joe, episode 43. So things are really getting heated up here. We have a situation where Rikishi is killing himself to lose that last, I believe it's 3 pounds to make the 118 featherweight limit so he can actually fight and challenge Joe. And yeah, he's left the mansion because it's too comfortable. He's not eating because he's having so much trouble just dropping these last 3 pounds. He went to the gym and locked himself in the janitor's closet where he's turned it into this makeshift sauna, literally shadow boxing in the steam to try and, cut these last 3 pounds off of him. And it's really getting to the point where it's like, is this guy going to kill himself trying to just get to the fight? Like, people in the comments have been saying that episode 50, there's a bomb that goes off in, like, story-wise in the show. And it's just, like, I can't, like, get that out of my head. Like, you gave me a piece of information, and naturally, I'm just going to apply it. I'm going to, like, film these next, like, 8 episodes in rapid succession, so by the time you see this, I'll have already seen whatever the bomb is. But still, like, you have the situation with Rikishi where he's cutting an extreme amount of weight to the point where he could even, like, go into, like, renal failure, like, kidneys shut down. Like, it's getting really dangerous. You also have Joe, who, every single fight he's had, he's gotten cracked multiple times in every damn fight. I've been harping about that point for, I think, like, forever now, but, I know enough about boxing to know that the damage sustained, if it keeps occurring over and over again, is career-ending, even life-threatening. So you have these two situations where I could easily see it, getting to the point where both these guys, or either one, ends up dying in the ring during their fight. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, and that's not the bomb that everybody's referring to, but it just seems like this could easily end up killing them. Both of them, one or the other, ending their careers. Like, it's really, really extreme, and yeah, like, I like both these characters, so I don't want to see that. I mean, I love the show and everything, but, like, that's going to crush me, honestly, if that's the case. But yeah, we're 40 plus episodes deep, so it's not like I'm not going to finish the series out or anything like that. Like, we're committed at this point. It's just, yeah, I'm not looking forward to whatever this bomb is that's going to go off, because in the boxing world, that could easily mean death, or, I guess if we're lucky, career-ending moments. But yeah, just something to keep on the horizon, and there's not much we can do about it, so we might as well just get to it. But before I begin, as always, remember to blank, blank, and blank. Still very much a small channel, so every like, comment, share, subscribe that we can get really helps out. Really appreciate it. Patreon link down below. I'm really trying to push the Patreon this year, so if you could sign up, even just as a free member, you'd be doing me a ton of good with that. Let's get right to it.
バッグに顔目が開け
叩け叩け叩け明日はきっと
明日はどっちだ
Joe's really pushing himself. Nishi's struggling. A cruel weight loss. Not exactly the title card you want to see. Jesus. Trey needs to take a body punch.
おめえそれでもミドル級のリミットかよ。ん？ライトヘビー、いやヘビー級にも感じるぜ。
アホ抜かしいな。わいはちゃんとミドル級のリミットを保っとるで。
いや、わしの目にもヘビーウェイトに見えるぞ。それより西、食事や水の量は厳しく監督してるのに、どういうことじゃ？
何のことです？
Is he getting food from somewhere else?
今日は事務局の方から急に呼び出しを受けてな。 白木ジムより正式に試合の申し込みがあったそうだ。
上力士戦のでっか。なったー。おいジョー、もういいや。もごんがなったんやで。
で、おっちゃん受けたんだろうな。
ああ、受けたよ。
It's on. Dankpei's nervous about something, but...
力石君を見て、受けざるを得んかったよ。
Oh shit. Dankpei can tell how much the weight cut is taking it out of him. He knows Joe will beat a weakened Rikishi.
あと何分ですか。
1分よ。5秒、4秒、3秒、2秒、1秒。さあ。
He needs to be helped out of the sauna. It's that bad.
しばらくでしたね。奴は頑張り屋だから。俺もへこたれませんよ。
It's getting to the point where to accept this fight, Dankpei kind of sees it as dishonorable. That's a cool image. It's also very dreary.
まるで般若みてえな顔してさ、骨太の力石君のことだ。どう減量したところで長時間バンタムにとどまっていることはできまい。
それは好都合ってもんよ。俺は今夜だって構わねえぜ。
Joe kind of looks at it as just putting him out of his misery.
食事の時間よ、力石君。
食事。
昨日終わったんすよ、試合が。試合前の減量の苦しみを今こそこのカツ丼で。何すんすよ。
Oh gosh. They all feel guilty eating in front of him. He's gonna have like a small piece of fruit and that's it. Single tomato. That thing doesn't even have 200 calories in it. This is insane.
しびれるからにおい。
さあ、西、お前も皿出しな。
はいはい。わいはこれだけで。
なんだ。力石とジョー、この二人の間にはわしなどの入り込む余地のない厳しい戦いの世界が出来上がってしまっておる。
いよいよ降りてきたかい、力士。俺はな、力士。ウルフ戦が終わったらこっちからフェザー級へ乗り込んでいくつもりだった。おめえの方から来てくれたんだな。もし明らかに減量が災いしておめえが負けたことになれば、またすぐフェザー級に戻るがいいさ。そんな時は今度は俺がフェザー級へ上がって再戦してやる。それでお互い恨みっこなしってわけだよな。
Is Nishi sneaking food? I think he is. That's why he's having so much trouble with his weight. Yep, Joe found out.
夜食を食べに来たのかい。
ジョー。
ちょくちょくね。
Yeah, you're in trouble.
お前はもうみそっかすになり下がったんだい。俺は力士の住むボクシングの世界からな。お前を信じていたかったよ。俺は断じて負けんぞ。力士もおそらく苦しみに耐えるだろう。耐えるってことそのものが健闘の世界なんだろう。そうだろう、力士。
Okay, I took some time just to gather my thoughts. Episode 43, another really good one. So we have the official formal challenge from the Shiraki gym to set the fight between Rikishi and Joe. Dankpei went to the Shiraki gym and after he saw the state that Rikishi was in, he had to accept. He knows in Rikishi's weakened condition that Joe can and should beat him, honestly. It's this weird situation where Dangpei wants to do the best for Joe, and because of this situation where he thinks, these two fighting can potentially ruin both careers, or at least sideline them for like an unworthy goal in his eyes. He feels it's like a little bit dishonorable to take the fight with Rikishi knowing that he's killing himself to make the weight, but at the same time, he's got to do what, Joe wants basically, and he's been through enough in boxing and all that history from, back in the days in juvie that he knows how much this fight means to both of them, and he can't, deny them what they want. But even given all of that, it's still really tough. I mean, Rikishi is just going through it, starting his day in the sauna, then he shadow boxes in the sauna. He eats lunch, which is a single tomato. That's not even 200 calories right there. And then he does it again, and then he's done for the day. So, like, he's working a full schedule, and then the strict diet with the steam baths to cut as much water weight as he, like, possibly can. It's just insane. He literally needs to be, helped up off the stool just to move out of the sauna. Otherwise, he's so weakened, he'd probably like fall to the floor and try and crawl out. But before, like, he just passed out and died in there. It's that extreme. It was really interesting this episode. Nishi is at the other end of the spectrum where he's supposed to be making weight, and Dangpei and Joe notice that he's looking really heavy. Like, he's supposed to be, a middleweight, and he's looking like at least a light heavyweight, if not a heavyweight. And Dangpei's strictly monitoring his food intake, but he keeps gaining weight. He's been sneaking out in the middle of the night, going to the udon noodle place, like just up the corner, literally running over there and doing it multiple times. This is why he's not losing any weight. And like cutting weight is incredibly tough. Staying to a strict diet on top of like an intense exercise regimen is also really, really tough. If you have no idea what it's like, just one night skip dinner and see how hungry you are the next day. Like, it'll really surprise you, and all you're doing is skipping one meal. These guys are working out, multiple times per day, following a strict diet, in some cases even, more extreme measures to cut even water weight and like steam baths and stuff like that. And yeah, the sport can get really intense, and this is one of the most dangerous aspects of the sport is an extreme weight cut. Like I said, you can go into renal failure, your kidneys could go, and also just dehydrating the brain before a fight is really, really bad. If a brain is like really dried out, it loses its resiliency, so when it takes those hits, it does more damage, long-term damage too. So it's just really, really bad combination of factors where these guys are killing themselves in order to make the weight. You're still really worn down after the fact. You never get it all back to where you're like 100% after the fact. You need days to fully recover for something like that. And yeah, fighters then go out there and, get their brains beaten out, and people can die easily. It was also really interesting how Joe was talking about he was considering going up in weight to make it easier for Rikishi, but at the same time, Joe really respects Rikishi's decision to do it the hard way. He said he finally came down to his level, so he could get that edge that Joe has always had over him, where Rikishi came from a much less, rough and tumble background like Joe. Like, Joe has been fighting his entire life, against insane odds, and despite that fact, he's never once complained. He just, has done it regardless of the fact that it's so dangerous, and he fought Rikishi knowing the fact that Rikishi had every advantage, and yeah, Rikishi wants to kind of reciprocate, but also do the things necessary so that he can achieve victory, and he thinks in his mind, going the hard route is what Joe would do, and it's the thing that I need to do if I'm going to actually win this thing, and that's the most important thing to him. The problem is the extreme weight cut is going to make that less and less likely over time. But yeah, it was a really good episode, and I'm guessing now that the fight is officially set, Rikishi is going to make that, the last however many pounds he needs to get to that, bantamweight limit, and we should be getting the fight relatively soon. I still don't know what the bomb is at episode 50. Again, I'm going to watch basically all these from this point onward, so even though I'm talking about this stuff now, like, it's not going to factor in because I'm just going to get these reactions over and done with, so nobody can spoil anything for me. But yeah, I'm just going to get right to the next one, and that's pretty much all I got. So as always, thanks for watching, and peace.